Hey y'all, it's Editing Keeksy here, popping in on a little $5 mic that I got off of Amazon.com. And I wanted to let you all know that this was originally recorded in February. So if some of the timelines don't really make sense because it's September, now you know. And that is completely my bad. Totally just dropped the ball on getting this uploaded. But I hope you guys still like it. I mean, it still has some cool little things that are still relevant. So please enjoy the video. And sorry about the microphone quality on this little mini announcement. Again, $5 microphone on Amazon. So, all right, back to the video. Bye. Hey y'all, it's Keeksy Weeksy, and today I'm starting something a bit different on the channel where I do some art in my sketchbook and talk about whatever I want. I thought that this would be pretty cool to do just so I can get into the habit of producing more unscripted content and being more spontaneous about when I upload, just so I'm not always in my head about what I should and shouldn't post or planning everything out so meticulously. I thought maybe this would be a bit more freeing where I can just talk about whatever topic comes to mind and you guys get to see my silly little doodles. So yeah, welcome to the first sketchbook vlog or sketch vlog of the channel. I wanted to talk about a few things that I'm super excited about and things that have just happened in my life. So yeah, starting off, this is an acrylic drawing on the back cover of my sketchbook, which I finished, by the way. We'll get more into that later. I thought it would be super fun to do like a little celebratory illustration with a medium that I haven't worked with in a while. I used to work with acrylic paint like all the time, but for some reason I just stopped doing it. I think it was part of my anxiety with using things that are super permanent, which is very silly as an artist. Like, you should just use whatever you want and not be scared about ruining supplies. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but for some reason I have so many markers and so much paint that I just don't use because in my head I'm like, oh, if I don't draw something perfect, it's gonna ruin it. And I wanted to get out of that habit, so I just whipped out these bad boys that I hadn't even really used yet, and I made the final drawing in my sketchbook, and it was fun. I think I'm gonna use these acrylic markers a lot more. Oh, hi Cairo. Hello, Cairo. Hello. I really enjoyed making this, and this is gonna be what the drawing of the video's like main subject is gonna be. Moving on, considering he just made his little intro, one of the things that happened to us this year, well, last year, was that we got a little kitty. His name is Cairo. He popped up all ratted out and dehydrated on our porch. I gave him some eggs and some apples. I told my husband to get some cat stuff, and we kept him. I don't think that was the original plan. I think we were just going to like take care of him for a bit and maybe try and find him a different home, but he's so cute. How do we say no? This is the second time this has happened. First time was with Cleo, and now we have another pet in which I have convinced my husband to keep, but he loves them, so it's okay. On to the next thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to say thanks for the 170 plus subs. Yay! I'm super excited about posting more on YouTube and sharing my art, so I'm glad that you all feel the same. I'm hoping to start producing more focused and fun content. I'm still getting used to recording myself, honestly, but I have a plethora of videos planned for this year, and I'm excited to make fun little videos for you guys. I'm also getting more used to editing things. I have some experience with editing videos, but I want to do some super cool stuff, you know what I mean? Hopefully, I'm able to even find the time to do most of the ideas that I have in my head. The second thing I wanted to talk about is that I turned 30 in February. Yay! I'm actually pretty soothed going into my 30s. I'm excited to see what this new decade will hold for me and my artistic ventures. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel more empowered to take control of my life and my aspirations without feeling fearful. I don't have that anxiety that I used to have in my mid-20s about time running out. I mean, I do still worry about like having time to do the things that I want, but I don't feel so frozen about whether or not the things that I want to make are good enough or if anybody will appreciate them. I don't care. Entering into my 30s, I just stopped caring. I want to do what I want to do. You know, I'm free. I'm free. I can do what I want. There's just something really calm about being 30. I don't feel that dread that a lot of people talk about whenever they're about to reach their 30s. It's actually pretty dope, not gonna lie. But I don't know, maybe when I'm 31 next year, all that dread will hit me and I'll be saying something completely different. We'll just have to stay tuned and find out. Thirdly, alright, I finally finished this damn sketchbook. Yay! I have been working on this sketchbook for 7 years. It's actually a little bit embarrassing that it's taken me so long. But like I said in my last video, I have been like on a serious level of burnout that I've never experienced before these last few years. And I'm finally clawing my way out of it. Like when I graduated SCAD, I was already heading into like an intense depression and burnout from experiencing like a very sudden passing of my grandmother earlier in the year. But now I've kind of been able to handle my grief and my emotions behind that, and I've been able to navigate it a lot better and kind of get back into doing what I love most, which is just making my silly little guys and drawing my silly little characters. And yeah, I thought maybe I could talk about my grandma a little bit in this, just to give more context as to why her passing was such like an ego death to me almost. She was a painter, and the entire reason I started drawing in the first place. A lot of who I am I owe to her, so her passing brought on a really strong bout of grief that kind of knocked any and all passion I had for my art or any hobbies really. To this day, I'm still surprised that I was able to graduate because I could barely stand to like get out of bed, and even less to like work on my assignments, including my senior film, which is still unfinished to this day. I never finished that bitch. Like, I look at like the scenes that I did finish kind of sometimes. I am a bit sad that I was never able to finish it, just to have like that one thing that I could come out of SCAD and be proud about for, but fuck it, we ball. Despite all that, I was able to finally kind of come out of that like after about 3 to 4 years. I was slowly able to get back into drawing more regularly and getting to a point to where I was more confident in my art and what I wanted to do. I thought for sure that I would finish my sketchbook in 2020, but then, you know, the pandemic, Black Lives Matter protests, election time, like all that was happening while working in customer service in like a super racist ass southern town. So, you know, all those things together kind of like caused a few mental setbacks, needless to say. But we're here. I'm finally feeling like I'm getting back on track, and that brings us to the next thing. I started a shop, which is what I've been wanting to do for a while. Right now the shop is pretty simple, which is fine as long as everything works as intended. I am in the process of remaking my site from the ground up and make it more aligned with what my brand and design tastes are. I want to have a site that is like reminiscent of those old 2000 sites like Neopets and Trolls and GirlGames.coms, etc. I thought it would be fun to kind of like lean more into my aesthetic and not really care about what is or isn't professional. Again, I'm in my 30s. I'm gonna do what I want. I don't care anymore. So yeah, that is the plan for the shop, which again is open, by the way, if you guys want to check it out. I'll put the link here and what it looks like and all that cool stuff. Some other fun things that I'm excited to show more of are some webcomics and video game projects that I want to get started on this year. I think it would be really cool to do some like devlog videos on here and show off my process from beginning to end of like working on a game without spoiling too much, of course. For the comics, I'm thinking of going over characters, environments, designs, etc. to like garner some hype around my stories. I'm really inspired by my friends and peers that are diving into their indie projects and working on things that they're passionate about. And I want to do that too. Right now, I have like 3 games I'm thinking of and 3 webcomic ideas. Too much going on, I know, but I'm pacing myself and keeping my expectations realistic. So for now, I'm focusing on developing 1 game to completion and developing the stories and character designs of the other like webcomic ideas that I have. So since I'm still developing the concept, I'll show a few sketches here and give a little description. I plan on the game being a black-centric sci-fi fantasy surrealist RPG adventure set in a small southern city. I've been describing the concept as Venom but doomed Yuri, which is funny and kind of accurate. I don't know. I just came up with it in my head, and that's what I've been saying since. In terms of aesthetic and gameplay, I'm really inspired by games like LSD Simulator, Ina Dream Barbecue, Fear and Hunger, Hylix Off, and those old point-and-click games and dress-up games from the 2000s to like 2010s. I want this to be a game about adulthood, femininity, blackness, accepting change, and other concepts that deal with being an adult but not feeling grown or mature. Even though those concepts are pretty serious, I ultimately want this to be like a fun game with cool elements, a good narrative, and fun and engaging gameplay. Hopefully, as I show more of the development, y'all will be just as excited for it as I am. I'm hoping to have finalized concepts by the end of the year, but we'll see. Right now, I'm just working on character designs and scripts. I'm not even sure what program I want to use. I've been researching Construct, GameMaker, and Godot. I don't know which to use though. There's still a lot I'm researching, but I'll save those for the devlogs. The other two game concepts are pretty different. One is a visual novel I've been wanting to make that's like a religious horror about religious psychosis, feminism, misogynoir, and church hurt, and women who center men. This title probably will be a bit more serious compared to other things that I do. It'll have a lot of content warnings and trigger warnings attached, so it's a visual novel. I don't think my devlogs will be too in-depth, just so I don't spoil too much of the story. So I'll mostly just be showing off character designs and background art and little snippets here and there. The third game may never come to fruition. It's literally just the concept that I came up with one day that for some reason my brain keeps hyperfixating on. And it is like a Doom-styled FPS action game, and I'm not a coder by any means, so you may just be getting art for that one, but it will be fun to explore nonetheless. I don't know, I'll get into these game specifics in another video and maybe do like a little pseudo devlog for that one, because again, not a coder. Don't even know where I would start with that one. In terms of like the webtoon ideas I have though, I'll just give little snippets about those, I guess. Like one is a comic I teased in my last video. It's a slice of life drama about late 20-somethings navigating adulthood and their musical passions, plus all the messiness that comes along with that. Very inspired by like early 2000s, mid 2000s shoujo like Nana, and I don't want to say Peach Girl because it's nothing like Peach Girl, but I don't know, Peach Girl has just stuck with me in my life. Me and my husband recently, well, I rewatched it. It was his first time watching it. He did not have a good time, I will say. But it was something. It was very nostalgic rewatching that and seeing how traumatic everything that was happening to Momo was. Anyway, Peach Girl vibes, but not Peach Girl trauma, if that makes sense. The other webtoon I was working on is like a supernatural fantasy, like magical realism coming of age story about 3 gifted black kids that can use magic. I'll get into that one in another video, of course. And then the third one is a fantasy romance about a high cleric and a vampire thrall falling in love. I don't know, I'm keeping the synopsis of these very simple because again, I want to dedicate more videos to just talking about these, so I don't want to give away too much in this one. But yeah, when I get the time to start doing character design and scripting, I'll show more. I promise. There's just so many things buzzing around in my head, and I want to stop hoarding them in my brain and do something with them. My goal this year is to take my art more seriously and get back to being more consistent. I was able to do a cool interview with Journey about overcoming art block and other things, and it made me realize how much I miss doing art for myself. You know, instead of just doing art as content, I want to do art that, you know, makes me happy and that I can actually turn into something, whether it be for my shop or webcomic or video game or whatever. Speaking of my shop, again, I also want to dive into making more merchandise for my shop. I already have stickers, buttons, and sticker sheets. I even have handmade charms. I'm planning on making more, and eventually I want to do apparel, stationery, sketchbooks, and whatever else. I'm actually doing a shop update for the summer, and I'm so excited because there's so many things I want to do, so I'm trying to maximize my time and productivity without burning myself out again, which will be hard because I tend to do so many things at once that I just end up doing nothing. Anyways, that's a lot to catch you all up on. Hopefully my next video isn't several months later, but there's no promise since I am working full time, but I'll try my best. My next video will be a full sketchbook tour, and I think I'm gonna make a different channel dedicated to my shop, but I don't know. That may be silly. That might be a silly idea. Yeah, next video will be a full sketchbook tour. But yeah, for now, enjoy the rest of my little drawing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know when I post next. If I post next, I don't know, it might be 3 months from now, it might be 3 days, 3 hours, who knows. I'll put all my social links in the description below, along with my shop and the interview that I did with Journey. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!